So you said you work with your client and whatnot. Like, is that such an uncommon thing?
I mean, I think I have a lot of empathy. I think I've done a lot of my own research and gotten tattooed in almost every crevice of my body to know what it feels like.
Okay.
And I think a big difference between me and a lot of the people that I work with is I express my love for my clients.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I work with people who put their headphones on and they don't talk to them and they don't interact with them. And yeah, they're giving them an amazing piece, but it's like half of it is the experience.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that separates me is because, like, I'm not living a joyful life unless if I'm creating beauty for somebody. And that's my human experience. That's how I connect to other people. Because I am introverted, like we talked about earlier, it's much easier to be one-on-one with someone and just learn who they are.
Right.
In like just a couple of hours, you know, I can like look at an old tattoo that I did a year ago and be like, I remember your childhood trauma, you know, like crazy stuff like that.
So why don't tattooers do that? Why aren't more tattooers like that when they approach a project?
I've never really met anybody like me before, you know, and I feel like I got into this for way different reasons than other people, you know?
What are one of those reasons? One
of those reasons is just to have a human experience.
Okay.
You know, like other tattooers, it's their job. It's just what they do every day, you know? They love art, so they create their art, only their art, and they're so specific about what they do. Others, it's all about the money. Like, and I'm not somebody who really cares about money. Yes, I get upset when I don't feel like I'm doing my worth, but I'm not money hungry, and I'm not going to dish out 20 tattoos in one day just to make a dime. You know, I'm going to put my heart and soul into what I'm making so that it carries that energy, you know?
Okay. So then,
I don't know if that makes sense. Sorry.
No. It makes sense. It makes sense. It creates that massive spectrum where you're on one end and everybody else is on the other. And we know those people who are on the end of that spectrum. We know those people. I know not as many as you, of course. That's just a given. But we know what that spectrum looks like, and we know where you are. You know,
I'm on a far extreme end, and I'd like to get more comfortable with not caring as much, but it's hard for me because I'm an insanely emotional person.
Sure.
So it's hard to avoid that in myself.
There's nothing wrong with that, though.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course.
A lot of tattooers think there's a lot wrong with that, and they tell me about it. And I'm like, well, that sucks. Thank you for your opinion. I did not ask for.
See, I think, okay, you know what? I think the reason why a lot of tattooers may not be thinking in that sort of same vein of thought is because it's not a traditional means of approaching tattooing in particular. I mean, let's be real here. Just, you know, imagine yourself doing this 20 years back. How much of a difference is that?
An insane difference.
But why? I mean,
because I'm a female.
So is it the fact that you're female, or more so the fact that the way you approach doing tattoos is not widely recognized and totally 100% okay? Like the way you're doing it is much more avant-garde and really sort of socially acceptable nowadays. Like you kind of expect an experience that you're giving to the people that you tattoo, right? You're people are somewhat expecting that experience when they go into a tattoo shop, but they still don't get that. They get those money grubbing tattooers who they see you as their next paycheck.
I think that I am insanely lucky to be in this era of tattooing because of how social culture has changed so much.
Exactly. Yeah.
And with I have utilized my horrific trauma from life and created this super gentle, loving, caring, compassionate person to take care of all the people who have been hurt the way that I have.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I could do that 20 years ago. I mean, it was hard enough for me in 2015, 2016 to be accepted in the tattoo community, even just as an 18-year-old little female. Everyone did not take me seriously. Everybody accused me of sleeping with the artist I was learning from, which is Sammy. And I'm like, he's like my brother, you know? Like, that's so crazy, is that nobody could see why I was doing it. And they didn't believe that I was doing it for all the right reasons, you know? And the only thing that actually drove me was all of the terrible shit, you know? All of the doubt, all of the spite, you know? Yeah.
No, it's just an inspiring story more than anything.